Are you happy now?
I grew up watching that shit. That shit, Robin Williams is still by far my favorite stand-up.
Yeah. His whole thing with golf and
I'm a Mitch Hedberg guy.
I do love
stupid, silly one.
I do Stephen Wright and Mitch Hedberg. Yeah. When he's like,
we had Slappy the Frog. This bit on fucking Smokey the Bear.
the bit about the people with at the restaurant when he's like, Donner, party of 3. Donner, party of 3. Smith, party of 2. Hold on, what happened to the Donners? Are we asking the Smiths to look for the Donner? Like, are we just dismissing that these people might be missing? He's like, and something about a baked potato. Sometimes I'll just throw it in the oven and wait 45 minutes and motherfucker be done. I might not be hungry when I start, but I'm hungry when I finish.
See, I remember a lot of his fucking just vulgar comedy.
Mitch Hedberg?
Oh, no, I'm talking Robin Williams.
Robin.
I guess I didn't realize you...
Yeah, that was Mitch
I don't even
Hedberg.
fucking know who he
Yeah,
was.
Mitch Hedberg was a stoner guy who was like, it was simple one-liners. Like everything was basically a one-liner, and if it was longer than a one-liner, it was just the same one-liner said 3 different ways until you got it.
Yeah.
I was
And
just saying, I've
worked
heard
and
him
it was
brought up,
gold.
but I've
It was
never
fucking brilliant.
seen this shit.
Yeah, and he was like, he didn't make, like, he always had his hair in his face, which was,
He didn't
like
people.
he was kind of like, yes,
it's like
secluded.
He knew he was too good at his job to not do it. And I think there's even a story where he was heckled at a show right as he fucking came out, like the beginning of the show, he was heckled by a guy. And he's like, okay, I don't need to be on stage to do my job. And he went and sat in the green room with the microphone and did his whole fucking set from the green room.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because the guy heckled him on stage right when he fucking came out. And he killed the show. Like, it was still a successful show. And
That's fucking
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And then I'm pretty sure that guy, like, got his ass the end of the fucking night.
Oh, yeah. I bet he
also... I'm sure he did.
I bet during the whole thing he also felt like a fucking dick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the entire show get turned into a joke about you.
Here we are with a new episode of Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And we are going to go right into the podcast. We don't have a topic for tonight necessarily.
No.
But we are going to do the podcast. We're doing it on a Friday night instead of Sunday afternoon.
Because of busy Sunday, right?
Because of plans. So, getting it done and still be out Monday morning. But
oh, yeah, that won't change. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
Nothing's different for you guys.
Yeah. But we are doing it on a Friday night.
Besides, I have more time to be lazy and still wait till Sunday.
Yeah, we don't get to play like 4 hours of Magic afterwards.
I'm trying to go meet my fiance at the bar after this.
Okay, all right.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
Fuck.
Anything fun? Anything interesting going on?
It was a cool show tonight.
I'm gonna have my fiance, speaking of her, give me her phone so I can get the video. But I heard you. I heard you did some dance moves tonight.
Raised a flag, so to speak. Yeah, that was fun. So obviously we have a tradition that every time there's a big fucking good show with some heavier music, I like to crowd surf. And every time I try to make it a little bit more, elevated, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, this time, as I get up, we're close enough to the pole that I just basically wrapped my arm around the pole and just flag pulled right off of it, straight leg out. Fucking then I started shaking my legs around. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, so I was suspended above the crowd, about like 10 feet in the air, flag pulling off of. Yeah,
it was cool.
Hoping it didn't collapse.
Yeah, it was cool.
In the middle of Swisher fucking swings.
It was in the middle of Swisher doing,
Well, it was like they had referenced a failed escape, which was the fucking band Swisher was in like when I was a teenager, and that was like the start of my local music scene kind of endeavors, you know.
So that would have been like, what, 19, 20 years ago?
Yeah, 19. Exactly 19. Well, not exactly, but damn near 19 years ago, because Frank was on stage kind of referencing a specific show, and it was the show I had gotten a shirt from, which is now the back patch to my vest. I don't know how well we got that on there, but
That was good.
But yeah, so that was that show, and it was 19 years ago, April, when I was a freshman in high school. But yeah, that's why I yelled it real loud, because he's like, I don't know, it's like 10 or 15 years ago, and I was like, it got silent for a split second so you could hear me yell, 19! Like, dude, I remember I was talking to other people about that show before they had got up there and sang and everything, but it was cool to see friends, people I used to look up to, and you know, now we're all fucking old motherfuckers now. But it was like being a youngster looking up to these guys out there singing on stage, not realizing that they're really not that much older than you, and they act just about the fucking same mentally. But yeah, it started a whole fucking thing, and here we are.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the audio turned out well on the video, so that way, because I just want to be able to hear Matt sing, because I've not heard it.
Oh, Bloody Roots, my fucking Sepultura, couldn't have been a better song for him to do.
Yeah, and he did great. He did great.
Oh, it's such a groovy
and it's,
song.
19 years ago, of course, you would have been 5.
Yeah.
And so I was completely embedded in fatherhood. So while you were going to shows, and those guys were doing their thing, I was at home with kids, young kids. I didn't get to go.
One.
Yeah, I didn't get to go to any. So I didn't get to go to any of those shows or do any of that stuff.
Boondockers, man. Boondockers back in the day was a fucking spot until we got kicked out from throwing a kid through a window.
Oh, come on. That shit happens.
Because so I missed all that stuff. And I wouldn't give it back for anything, but it's kind of like, that kind of sucks that I missed all of it. But I'm friends with all you guys now.
Hey, you know how much shit I missed out on because I'm 24?
Right.
That was Chad Smith and Frank. They were playing in the band there. That was
Threat Level.
Which hopefully we get Chad on here soon.
Yeah.
Izzy's band, fucking Tirothy, which was that was my discovering of Primus, was that same fucking show too, because they did a cover of Too Many Puppies. And that was all the fuck. I'm sure. But it was like all that same fucking year, man, 2005. Awesome-a-Palooza is what they called it. There were flyers all over the fucking high school.
Really?
It was fucking dope. Kids from high school played in it, as well as adults, in bands and shit. It was a pretty underground type of development from the music scene.
Nice.
At a time when there wasn't much.
Right. The first band, Bloodletter, I thought was good. They were solid.
They were great.
The crowd wasn't really there for them, but they were very good.
Yeah.
They were very good. They called Brad out.
Yeah.
Because there was only like 3 people under the tent, and they were like, "Why don't some of you motherfuckers get up here? Especially the guy in the yellow shirt with the battle vest." And Brad was like, "Wait a minute, I'm the only guy wearing a battle vest."
Yeah. It's like, yeah, he heard us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was sitting there minding my own business in the way back stretches too.
We were like,
fucking, you had to look like this to fucking.
It was like he was talking to Alex about something completely different.
Yeah.
You like went, what?
I heard battle vest, and I walked, and I'm like, ooh, that's me.
Hopefully, because I've been saying it a couple times, I'll get to thirds in the near future, and I'll be able to be there for shit like that.
It was a hell of a time. Like, both bands were fantastic. Yeah. Bloodletter was good. Like I said, the crowd really wasn't. There wasn't a big crowd for them because it was still early, and everybody wanted to come out for Chad and Frank and damn us all. And so I think some people waited to come out. But
Some people just weren't even there yet. Because I'm telling you, I walked in after Bloodletter was done, and I went inside, took a piss, grabbed a beer, and I talked to a couple people for just not even that long. And then we went outside, and I was like, holy shit, the fucking...
Yeah.
It was like quadrupled in fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah, it went from 100, 150 people to 300 real fast. Yeah, real fast. Real fast. Speaking of numbers of people, not that I want to take away from tonight, but I have access to it. If you guys haven't seen it, the OVW that's on September 7th, which you can't go to because you'll be using Weezer tickets.
Yeah. Sadly, I want to be thrown through a ring.
It's got 500 reactions on Facebook.
Let's go.
103 people have put going, and 368 people have put interested. So we're pushing.
That ain't even counting the 50 of us that just show up to everything that happens there.
Right. The
people
that don't have Facebook, and the people that or just don't respond to that stuff.
The people who get 30 invites every day.
Yeah. So
I can say I'm that person. I get a bunch of invites, never respond, and I may be there, I may not be.
So so that's exciting because I'm hoping that there's a big turnout tonight. I'm hoping the turnout is like it was tonight, because we'll get back to tonight. The turnout was fantastic.
There were people there tonight, and I know unequivocally they were there just because of being in town. They had nothing to do with the fucking music, because they don't listen to that kind of music, and I know they didn't. They just were there to enjoy being out and all the people. And it's like, I got to see so many old faces I haven't fucking seen in years. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time I'd seen Frank. Me and him were sitting there trying to think of the last time I fucking seen him. I was like, God damn, it's been so long.
Yeah, there was so many people that just haven't been around because life got in the way.
Yeah.
But they stopped what they were doing and made sure they came out for this, probably for Frank and Chad. Are the other 3 guys local or no?
I can't remember for sure. I didn't even bother to ask, and I apologize for that to those guys. But
yeah, I made sure to tell them all.
When you got 2 buddies in the band, you kind of just fucking glued to them. It's the fault of mine, but no, they said they were great.
Bands, but I can imagine
they were fucking great.
Yeah,
Frank's been practicing. Chad ain't stopped. But yeah, the other guys were great. There was one little funky moment where the bass, or no, one of the basses, the guitarist had
lost his thing. I saw you over there helping him.
Transmitter from his guitar, and the whole thing had fallen off. Well, and he had trying to get somebody to help him in the crowd get his back on his thing. So while they're fucking with the strap, I just ran the fuck over, and I'm like reached up and plugged it back into his guitar. One less thing for him to fuck with, but. Yeah, it was the only hiccup I kind of stuck out to me, but you wouldn't have known it. The way they played, you wouldn't have fucking known it. Like, if you had your eyes closed.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, you still got another guitarist.
Levi,
so you didn't. It. Yeah.
Fuck you.
He doesn't see anything.
He didn't hear the bing, bing, bing either.
I'm a tech guy. I noticed that shit. I used to have to do that kind of shit all the fucking time.
You can feel the vibrations of it hitting the ground.
Can we at least change my name to Daredevil, for fuck's sake? I get it, he hears things, but fuck.
Nah, he's got a law degree, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you are way closer to Helen Keller than you are Daredevil.
He
fights crime and shit. Yeah, he fights crime and shit. So, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, you're way closer to being Helen Keller.
Fights crime, doesn't make it.
What crime do I make?
More likely to make a crime.
I can't say that. I do need to renew my registration on my car. That was due a month ago.
Oh, man.
Oh, come on. The longest I've went is a year and a half.
I just had to pay your brother's. Don't make me pay yours.
Oh, no. You ain't paying mine. I'm a fucking grown-ass adult. I may be younger than him, but
I think
I'm at least a grown-ass
mine might
adult.
finally go under $200 this year.
Mine was only $100 this year.
The first year I registered my truck was like $600. A brand new registration.
Yeah.
And then it's like 400, 300. And it's like been slowly tripling. I
think the last time I had to do mine, it was like 170.
That's got to do with mileage too, I think.
No, yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, I think mileage.
I
don't know that.
Mileage.
Is it just year?
I think it's just year.
I think it's this year.
Because I don't have to input a mileage. At least I don't remember.
I just remember the first vehicle I ever registered cost me $20 to register and plate it.
First one I ever did myself would have been when I bought the old Ranger off Dustin, and that's when I was taught the trick of being like, hey,
$1.
Yeah, see, if you do it too cheap, they can be dicks and pull out the book and make you pay that way because they know you're lying. But if you give them something stupid, like I told them I paid $750 for a '97 and it was like 2018.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, that seems reasonable,
right?
Or no, it was even earlier than that. It was probably 17. Yeah, 17 or 18, something like that. But it was a '97, so it was old as fuck, and it was a manual.
Yeah.
That made maybe 120 horsepower. That thing was slow as fuck.
It's crazy though, and I know it sounds shocking that you can actually put 0. You can give a vehicle to someone and not pay any taxes, but nobody ever does it. They always put $1. Me and my grandpa did that one time. And just, here you go, fucking 0. And they didn't say a fucking word. And it was just, it's mine. Okay.
See, I believe they'll, because I think that's more of like just a title transfer at that point.
Well, no, it was the way it was done, because I can't remember how we went about it, but it wasn't a title transfer. There was something funky about it, but no, we just put fucking 0, and they never said a goddamn word.
It's good. Yeah.
You always got to find a way to pay less taxes.
Oh, yeah. It takes so much.
Hey, just always remember. Do you know what the Boston Tea Party was started? How much tax that was started over?
How much?
Less than 2%. It was like 1.6 or some dumb shit. And you know how much we get taxed now? About half our fucking income. Not 1.6% by goddamn means.
It's at least 23 now.
We need to go over and start knocking on Parliament. I'm like, hey, we're gonna fuck all your tea up if you don't convince our politicians.
We don't have a parliament.
Yeah. No, we go to their parliament.
Okay.
We threaten them as a whole group of people outside of our government. And we're like, hey, I'm gonna fuck you up if you don't convince these guys to tax us less. Remember what happened last time? They get right on it. They get the UN up America's ass.
I mean, you got a point. It doesn't matter if it's home turf or away turf. We got it. Guerrilla warfare.
We're pissed about taxes, and we ain't got enough tea to sink.
Oh, come on. There's got to be way more tea now to sink than ever.
Yeah, you got to go across the pond.
Oh, shit.
Or we could always try to take back the cheese caves.
Cheese caves? What the fuck are cheese caves?
Do you not know about the cheese caves?
Caves full of cheese.
Wheels of cheese. So, history lesson. I don't know what year it was, but it's around the time of, I believe, World War II, maybe a bit before it. Actually, it was during World War II, because our Navy, it's part of their rations.
Cheese.
Ice cream. Every naval ship has to have a working ice cream machine on it because it's part of every Navy person's daily rations.
Sorry to interrupt, but we need to take fucking Navy vets and stick them motherfuckers in McDonald's. This is when they're retired.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have a story about that too. But so because of that, and during World War II, with the amount of people we had out deployed and the amount of ships and everything, we were running low on dairy. So the government convinced a bunch of people to start being dairy farmers. Well, after the war ended, people were still dairy farmers, and the government couldn't just let them go broke because now the government doesn't need the dairy. So they started a organization that's basically underneath them, that's not for the government, and they started buying all the dairy. Well, they figured out it's going to cost a lot to refrigerate that dairy. So they decided, what can you turn dairy into? Cheese. Big wheels of cheese. And you know where you can stick cheese? Limestone caves. Because there's the right humidity, and they stay at the right temperature year-round. So, in order to take all that dairy they were buying from the farmers, because they convinced the farmers to become dairy farmers, and they didn't want a bunch of farmers to go broke because farmers are our backbone, they made cheese, stuck it in these limestone caves, a shit ton of it, and that's also where government cheese came from.
I want to also interject. I think poor farmers is a fucking lie trope that we've been told our whole lives, because have you ever met a fucking poor farmer? No, they're all loaded to the fucking gills with money.
Well,
I still believe to this day the Dust Bowl's a myth. I don't think it happened.
I don't know anything about that.
Aliens.
My thing wasn't they become poor. It's they didn't want to make somebody take their whole land that they converted into a dairy farm and then be like, yeah, we don't need all this dairy. And now
where are these caverns of cheese?
Limestone caves, and I believe.
I'll never tell you.
Well, we don't know all of the locations of them. That is true.
Yeah.
But we do know, I believe there's one very close to St. Louis that is the very well-known one that people talk about.
I feel like this is a story for National Treasure 3.
I feel like if I found a location,
we
should pitch.
We should pitch.
I need to start coming.
3 doing a TV show.
You know how cool it would have been if
searting for the caverns of cheese.
Hey, National Treasure.
You're
2.
talking about
sailing the seas of cheese.
Yes.
Yes.
So picture National Treasure 2, but Nick Cage, when they walk into the City of Gold, is just
the city of cheese.
It's like, oh, it's cheddar. That's what they meant by gold colored.
Gold color. It was all cheddar.
I am rich with cheddar.
There you go.
Park some fucking school buses down here.
You don't understand my love for cheese. If we want to go searching for these cheese caves, I will go find these cheese caves. I also don't know if the government took the cheese out, because they did end the government cheese program.
To start our fucking search for the caves of cheese, I will go ask around the cheese quarters in Montreal.
There you go.
I'm going to start there.
Montreal's not the place to go.
No, it is, because
it's our U.S. government.
Cheesemongers are going to move there. Their bloodlines are going to go there where the cheese is more fucking, the real deal shit.
But see, our
Who's
government...
going to give up secrets against America but other foreigners? You're not going to get them from our own fucking country. We got to go to a foreign country.
We got a lot of fucking whistleblowers.
There's going to be a fucking...
Snowden was from our
French
country.
Canadian guy who's like, I know where the cheese is.
Indiana's a lot of limestone.
That's what I'm saying.
So there's got to be a cheese
I'm
cavern
literally
in
going to
Indiana.
drive to Montreal and be like, where's the cheese? He's going to be like, Bedford. And I'm going to be like, Bedford.
If by
the mystery of the cheese caverns.
If by the time I edit this, I find some kind of reasonable thing that someone has found cheese caves, I'm going to sit in my room editing, put a camera up, and be like, all right, guys, I found it. And shove shit. I'm going to act like just one of those solo YouTubers and shove it at the end of the fucking podcast.
Nah, it's going to be somebody. We're going to stumble upon it on accident. It's like, oh, here it is. It's in Frank's Park.
Yeah, no shit. That would be awesome. Man.
You imagine?
Oh, it's blue cheese. It looks like the rocks.
It is the rocks.
Oh man. Cheese caverns.
Cheese pirates.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of the cheese caverns.
I've never heard of the cheese caverns.
I know of all sorts of dumb little shit like this. I need to start bringing more of these to the table.
Yeah, I said I did not know about the cheese caverns.
What kind of cheese?
That I don't know. I believe it's just cheddar because that's what government cheese
Are you
is.
asking what kind of cheese I like?
No. Yeah, sure.
I'm still on the government cheese.
All of them.
I was going to say, I love all cheese.
It's an easier question to ask which kind of cheese you don't like.
I haven't had a cheese I don't like.
My favorite, nothing beats a nice cold slice of extra sharp cheddar. That's where I always end up.
If you're cheddar guys, I don't know.
I like feta. Even though it's real crumbly and it's like fucking, it's more of just putting on top of like fucking pasta and shit. But I'll grab a fucking ball of it and just fucking crush it over my mouth like it's something.
It also depends on what sandwich you're putting it on, too.
I'm just talking cheese in general. If we're talking only sandwich, I mean, honestly, my go-to on a sandwich is always pepper jack. But if I can find ghost pepper jack.
Yeah, Gruyere. You guys need to.
Gruyere.
That shit.
Gruyere's good.
That's good on a burger.
I need to expand my cheese.
Gouda's not bad on a burger.
I like Gouda on just about anything, but the problem is finding a good Gouda in America, because a good Gouda in America is not a Gouda.
It's not a good Gouda.
It's not normal.
It's not Gouda.
It's different. Okay, so Gouda, when you cut a fucking good wheel of Gouda, my uncle used to.
Goodwill Gouda.
No, my uncle used to. He was in the military, and he would go to Germany a lot and get stationed there. And he would always go down to Holland and gather up some cheeses and bring them back for the family and whatnot. But he would get a baby Gouda straight from Holland, and he would bring it back, and it was one of the most pungent fucking smelling cheeses I'd ever had. And it's a baby Gouda, which means it's aged far less than an actual fucking Gouda. So you cut into a good fucking wheel of Gouda from Holland, and that shit's gonna smell like the worst feet you ever fucking smelled.
Right.
And it's gonna melt in your mouth, and it's gonna taste completely different, and you will never fucking slice it to put it on a sandwich. And that is like, Gouda here is so
That's
much
also
different.
my thing. If you get to that expensive cheese, you're not mixing it with much of anything. Like, there's things that pair with that kind of expensive cheese, but for the most part, I'm eating it by itself.
If you ain't feeling fucking salt crystals pop in your mouth as you're eating a fucking, a good Swiss, like, that's the thing. Like, knowing what needs to be briny and what needs to be pungent, and what needs to be stringy,
what needs to be sharp,
and and it's like, America don't do cheese. Where the fuck?
We do a lot of different cheeses, but we do them America style, where we're going to butcher the fuck out of it, and we're going to make everyone in America go, man, I like this cheese. And if they ever travel foreign, they're going to go, man, they don't make it right over there, even though it comes from there.
What about the cheeses that are moldy? Do you guys like Gorgonzola, blue cheese?
See, I like blue cheese. I don't think I've had many moldy, like Gorgonzola.
That begins with a C. I can't think of.
I enjoy blue cheese with my wings.
I was going to say, you like blue cheese.
I like blue cheese on a lot. I'll eat chunks of blue cheese in a
See, I still go to ranch, but I do enjoy blue cheese. So if they mess it up or if I feel like it, I'll go blue cheese.
Blue cheese dressing ain't got shit on the right chunk of blue cheese crumble.
Right.
A good old chunk of blue. You can...
Like the black and blue burgers where they... Yeah.
If you eat...
Cayuga Blue?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
I guess I can
that motherfucker is basically like, I know I'm eating mold.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I can smell it as I'm chewing it. Like, it's like so fucking sharp.
Episodes where I'm going to be shoving pictures all over the place.
But blue cheese doesn't have mold.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what that blue is.
It's like that
blue is mold.
Oh, okay.
Easiest way to put it.
I don't know what the difference between blue and Gorgonzola is as far as
donut has
why they have different names. They're almost the same. They taste completely fucking different. They have a similar texture, but you can tell different. Like, you can fucking tell them apart easily.
I love cheeses. I can't get into any kind of science or specifics about them like that. I just know I'll eat the shit out of all of them.
I like goat cheese a lot. Any of the goat cheeses, anything made with.
That's something I need to tell Amish to do.
What?
They have like
Goat
17
cheese?
goats.
Does he drink goat's milk?
I mean, I know their mom milks them and uses the milk, so I imagine so. I know he's not like drinking straight glasses of milk. He wouldn't do that with milk in general.
Of fucking Santa Claus and Tim Allen's like with the milk.
Oh,
because you're lactose intolerant.
I'll have to ask him if they've thought about making cheese now with the goat's milk.
Goat's cheese is shit.
Yeah.
I don't know hard making cheeses, but I know milk's a part of it. That's all I
I
know.
think it's more of a pain in the ass than difficult. It's
Sounds
like
right.
tedious. You gotta
I think
watch
it's
the
very,
dish.
a lot of
And
patience.
it's time. Yeah, I was gonna say it's time
A
consuming.
lot of patience.
Well,
I would
at
think.
a certain
I would
point,
think. I've not made cheese.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where like you gotta watch it just for this amount of time, and then it's like, okay, I got 4 days, and then it's
Right.
like, okay, now I get all the way and curds out.
I think more than 4 days. I think you got like weeks.
Well, I mean,
I
once
mean-
you get to aging, but like
I'll
between
just-
it,
yeah.
curdling,
Yeah.
I don't know how long that shit takes. And it's different between cheeses because some of them become more firm and some of them become
Softer.
yada.
Stringy.
Like hard on the outside, soft on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends.
String cheese is fake, by the way.
No,
It's fake.
I would have never known.
It's fake.
It looks fake when you look at
It's
it.
fake.
It's fake.
Did you know that?
Most mozzarella is fake. It's all fake.
Moots.
A lot of things.
The mozz.
A lot of things,
Mozzarella!
a lot of things are fake.
Mozzarella and provolone.
Wow, we have gone off the rails on the
Yeah.
cheese.
We really have. So, did you have any good cheese when you were up in Wisconsin at the Dells?
I've
Oh,
never
we
been
just
to
we just went
Wisconsin.
through and not really. No, we were only going through there to get to Minneapolis.
Oh. So you really didn't stop and have cheese,
No, we didn't.
cheese and
I'm
wine.
not even the biggest football person anymore, but I want to go to Wisconsin for cheese, even though it's still American
This is an
cheese.
outsider perspective,
But
because I
and
didn't
Lambeau.
stop. But I feel like
It's probably
Wisconsin's
overhyped.
cheese is overhyped.
I at least want to try it.
Because any times I've ever gotten any Wisconsin types of cheese, they're all white cheeses. They're usually big chunked curds, and it's fucking bland, boring bullshit with no fucking flavor. Like it's, sorry to be racist, but it's fucking white people country. It ain't fucking
Hey, you're-
shit for flavor.
You're
up
white.
there.
You can say that.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta
like,
remember, you
you
can say that
motherfuckers
thing.
ain't cultured.
That's cracker cheese.
Yeah, dude.
Quite,
it's
take
all
that
pub
either.
cheese.
Take that either
Go
way.
watch the
Ritz and
fucking-
crackers,
yeah.
white people
Go watch the
cracker.
fucking Brewers. That ain't even. That's still not even. Yeah, Milwaukee. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Go watch the fucking Brewers and eat your pub cheese.
Brewers and Packers.
Yeah. Your fucking best cheeses are just foam hats.
I was
I
gonna
would
say,
love
you
to
said
go-
they make all white cheese and their hats are all fucking
Well,
sharp
no,
cheddar.
like,
fucking.
anything I've encountered from there is like all these the cheese in Wisconsin, and then you're like, okay, well, give me some cheese, and it's like, here's these deep fried cheese curds from the fucking bar.
Well,
And
that
I'm
doesn't
like, God
count.
damn.
That-
And it's like, here's this in a bag. It's those, but they're not breaded yet, and it's like, okay, like I've just never seen anything that differentiates itself from the rest of the world.
Right.
And I've seen some of the fucking best cheeses on the planet and
Right.
ate them, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm jealous of that. I've not got to experience much of outside of America cheese.
me and my aunt were walking around. This was
I'm
in
gonna have to find-
Oceanside, California, but we were walking around like every so many fucking weeks. Their town would hold like it's almost like a fucking kind of like the equivalent of like a fair, like you know when they got all the food and tents set up at
Oh,
a fair.
yeah.
But this is downtown in a beach town kind of shit. So there's no rides. It's just fucking once a month. There's all
Kind of
these
like Pioneer
vendors.
Days there.
Yeah, but it's
Inside.
literally once a fucking month.
Right.
And fantastic food. Like there's food for fucking days. There's all kinds of shit. But there was one booth. This guy had high end cheeses, and we wanted to try a couple because while we were there, my aunt wanted to sit down. We like to eat fancy shit. She likes to fucking. She's pretty fucking well off, you know. And we were just like, let's get some cheeses, and we'll go find some good bottles of wine, and then we can all sit around the fire at her fucking house and hang out as a family because there was a lot of us from all over the states that met up. But me and her go up to this guy, and he's wearing his chef outfit, and he's got all these fine cheeses, and he would slice us off little bits to try, and I'm like, this one, I want to try this one. I want to know what this is like. And he's like, oh, this is too expensive to sample. And I'm like, if it's too expensive to sample, are you going to fucking sell any of it tonight? Like, let us fucking taste it. Maybe we'll buy it if we like it. I'm not, we're not going to buy something we don't like. And he's like, oh, no. It's way too expensive. Way too expensive. But he's talking to me and my aunt. My aunt makes $3,000 for working 2 days a week. And I'm like, you're talking wrong, motherfucker. She'd have bought the whole goddamn wheel if it was good. But you just done fucked around on us.
Yeah.
And I think she went to the next booth over and spent like $200 on some random ass shit she didn't even want just to spite the fucking guy. And it was like, he judged us so hard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't know what the fuck I'll do for cheese, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what the fuck you mean it's too expensive? Tell me it's too expensive and I'll
quote
come back.
Channing Tatum,
fucking
I kill
anything.
kittens for cheese.
Yeah. But no, it was just, he had really good cheeses, but that one he wouldn't let us try. Still to this day pisses me off. And I've been blanked it out of my memory to even remember what fucking kind of cheese it was. But I remember that bastard's face.
Yeah. Pissed you off. Revenge.
Yeah. No,
I guess you
all I
guys
had
got
to-
your spite.
All I had to do is not judge us. I'm like, we're in a town fucking north of LA. You think people ain't got fucking money and then they still look like bums? Like, don't you know shit about California?
Yeah.
Like, well,
Yeah.
fucking, you don't fucking talk sideways to a bum because he could be a millionaire.
Yeah, look at how Adam Sandler walks around.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, if you didn't know, you'd think he's just your average fucking suburban dad.
Now,
Yeah,
granted,
pretty
I
much.
definitely did not have the money to afford that cheese myself. But, fuck. One of these days, I'm going to buy a fucking $10,000 wheel of cheese and eat it myself.
Jesus
I won't-
Christ.
I won't shit again the rest of my life.
Uh,
How'd he die? Fucking the whole wheel of cheese fell on him. He didn't even cut the first slice.
He
fell
ate it
on
whole.
him.
Yeah.
Fell on him.
Yeah, the cheese ate him.
Death by cheese.
Death by cheese. Alright, I'm going to switch topics up a little bit. I talked to you about this earlier in the day. That's how I feel about this next topic. Thank you. Have you seen, I asked Dad this question, I didn't phrase it right. Have you seen what they're currently selling on the Secret Lair website?
Yeah.
What is your opinions on it? Because I believe I've talked about it on a podcast.
We talked about it.
This is not good enough for what I'm talking. Like, this is still, you're limiting the amount. Like, yes, I
How-
could buy it,
How
but
long has Mystery Booster 1 been out?
that part I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up, because
They said they're okay.
yeah, continue on.
They said they are only making this available for festivals in a box.
Yes.
And for conventions.
Yes.
They didn't say how many festivals in a box. If you look at all the festivals in a box before this, they're all the regular Mystery Booster. That means years and years and years of us getting Mystery Booster 2 sprinkled throughout different festivals in the boxes, and all kinds of things. They will flood the market.
Yes, it'll take time.
And they
to flood.
will hit retail.
Oh, I'm not.
In specialty shops with the people who are diligent enough to just go get the fucking shit.
Yes, but then in that specialty shop, it's also going to then be marked up because someone had to sell it.
But
It's going to still be a secondary.
that's
market.
where it's on us as consumers to, like, no offense because you're a shop owner, but sometimes we got to go into these fuckers and give them bullshit. Like, we got to be like, you guys are fucking jackasses for marking that price that way. And if you get fucking 10 people in a row that come in and call you a jackass to your face because you're marking a price up because we know how much you paid for it because it's all over the fucking internet, then I think you had it coming. And it's like,
It also
you need
depends on what he's
that's-
marking it
That's
to.
the thing is people don't have the balls to go in and be like, hey, you need to cut your shit back. You bought that off the internet at this price. We break it down, and you can't charge that much because you got a bunch of other extra shit for free. You're not fucking selling me that you got with that box when you purchased it.
Yes.
Now, they're only limited to 3 per fucking transaction, but what have we seen? They're still on sale. That means 3 this time, wait 10 minutes. 3 this time, wait 10 minutes. 3
Yeah.
this time, wait 10 minutes. So there's no fucking actual limit.
I
do
do
it right.
agree. First, to answer your other
Yeah.
question, they initially released in early November of 2019 as convention boxes.
Yes.
But they had stated it was coming retail in 2020, and it was in March
and
of
they
2020.
They made a separate one.
Yes, but that still contained most of the same cards, if not all
Correct.
of the same cards.
I still don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's awful, but my whole point is when you are also adding, I can't remember the exact number, but it's close
1,800.
to. Yeah, you're
1,800 cards.
Yeah.
All reprints. Bunches of them. No, there's no brand new cards.
They're adding arena cards into it.
That's not technically brand new. They exist somewhere.
Yes, but it's the first time they're prints.
I know.
So
I
it'll
agree,
also be the first
you can
time
still
that
play that card.
Yes, but it'll also be the first time now, also in paper printing, they'll be able to be played in tournaments.
That's semantics, though, for me.
For you, but that also affects the pricing of them and other things.
But 1,800 cards.
Yes,
that's a big set. We don't know how many of those are arena cards for one, and those being the first. I get that. I can't call them new though because they're not new. They've been sold somewhere else functionally for the game of Magic.
My point I've always stated is new for paper.
Well, yes, I know. But it's not a new design. Most of those are janky fucking junk cards. Like there's a Dreamcast. There's one that's never been in paper, but it was in a Dreamcast game before.
Oh Jesus!
It's not going to be worth a fuck. And it's like just because they're arena cards doesn't mean they're worth a fuck.
But Arena also has a lot of cards that are worth a fuck that people want.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm getting at. The whole point of this whole conversation is that you want something that's exclusive to going to an event to attend.
I want them to continue what they did the last time, where they made it exclusive for a short period of time and then made it retail.
Well, either way, the product they've made now. Either way, the product they've made now will still not be available to you because this is the convention. So what you're getting would be a completely different product, and you would never get the product you're asking for in that capacity. You would be shortened somehow. You'd be short sold somehow with whatever you end up getting. You'll never get it. But that doesn't mean the people who have the opportunity to go get it shouldn't be able to go get it.
I didn't say they shouldn't be able to go get it.
But that's the thing. Because the minute it's available everywhere, there's absolutely no fucking point in going to the convention. You have just taken that product from that person because they will sit at home and buy it instead of buying it while they're at that. It's completely removing the exclusivity.
But the thing you also just stated was if I do get it in retail, if they go back and actually do what they did on the first one,
you're getting something separate. So
I'll get something different. So these guys are still going to get and be able to have their product with their exclusive stuff from their conventions,
but then
that is still going to be separate in your eyes from this new thing.
But
in the retail version of it.
The prints in... okay. So, two separate products, right? One's born from somebody wanting something they couldn't have. So now you're taking the cards out of that to reprint and build a half-ass set of that. So you've taken the cards out of it, you've taken the exclusivity from someone. They get a little tiny fraction kicked back.
The same thing they did the last time they released this.
Exactly. There was something wrong with it.
And people enjoyed it more.
But there was something wrong with it.
Overall, the Magic community has been way more vocal about how they've done this one and how much they dislike it rather than when they did the first one.
But that doesn't mean it's good for the fucking... The thing is you can't listen to the consumer. This is a problem I'm going through with a lot of places at work. You can't listen to the fucking consumer because they don't know what's good for the company and themselves. You give the fucking consumer everything they want and you're out of fucking business. It's correct. A business.
You can't give them everything they want.
If you continually help the fucking customer by, okay, I'm sorry, we'll just give it to you. We'll just give it to you. And then it's like all of a sudden there's so much shit, the game fails because nobody wants to fucking collect it anymore because it's so widely available. You shit the collectability out because the company will now go back on everything they've said because somebody complains that they're not getting something. It's like, it sucks, but it's... Not really.
Could they have built the packs and the mystery boosters to have like an extra legendary card and then called them like convention exclusive?
Well, that's what they essentially did, but they took some of the select reprints out of it that were available in the convention boosters, right?
The only difference is in the convention you could get playtest cards. Only difference.
So fucking. Well, then the mystery boosters I bought from in-store.
I'm talking set one, because obviously we don't have a retail.
Well, I'm still confused on the whole set one thing.
So set one, they initially released it as convention, but when they released it, they had also stated, in the future, in the short-coming future, we are going to make this a retail thing so people can do this Chaos Draft in their local game store.
Well, and they promised that from the get-go with that one. From this get-go, they said they're not going to do it.
And that's what made everyone upset, and that's my whole issue.
Do you know how cheap mystery boosters got down to that were in the stores?
But that was the whole point wasn't...
Do you know what that means? That means there's... How much Murders of Karlov do you have fucking seen?
Yeah, he's still got like 5 boxes sitting there.
Which means if that set is cheap and the fact that you can't fucking pull anything close to what you actually want, it's only good for fucking draft. And the whole point of Mystery Booster 2 is to get you to draft at a fucking convention. To play at the convention. This is just, sure we want it. Everybody wants a fucking $1 million, but you've got to earn it. So go to the convention and get it. And then sit at home and be alright with it. It's like, that's the thing. That's just the thing.
Are they going to release them to retailers at some point?
No.
We have no knowledge.
They said they weren't. It's
they
like
said
they didn't definitely say they would.
They said as of right now, they're convention only. They didn't say one way or another what they're going to do. And then everyone got pissed off at that statement, so they did this on the secret lair.
No, they were always going to do
the festival. I never saw anything about that until after
the festival in a box was always part of the plan.
I didn't know that part.
That's how.
Because I also never got like any kind of email. I just randomly, because I knew Secret Lair was coming up for Dungeons and Dragons.
That's always been their answer for people who can't attend a convention, and that's the fucked up part of it, is everybody's getting pissed that they can't get this product that's a convention exclusive that's already had a planned fucking release for you to get it without going to the convention on a fucking untimed fucking sale.
See, I also couldn't find anything when I just Googled Mystery Booster 2. Like, I couldn't even find so that's also... Not trying to be keep being a dick, but that's also kind of on Wizards that, I guess, in my opinion...
When we first discussed it, that was the day it was announced, and it was briefly announced through a podcast on fucking YouTube. There wasn't even official statements, really, before we started.
I started seeing articles and shit, and that's what I was talking about, and I started seeing people talk about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was only referenced in a podcast and brought up that way.
It was Gavin, and it was Gavin that was talking about it.
See, I just kept seeing article after article after article, and no one said anything about this Secret Lair thing. So to me, when I first saw it, I'm like, this is kind of shitty for all those people that can't make it to conventions.
It does suck.
And then to me, when I saw the Secret Lair, not knowing that was already a planned thing, not ever seeing that mentioned anywhere by even a Wizards employee on a Twitter post or anything, I saw that and was like, okay, so that's your answer? That's where my frustration came in. To me, it felt like a cop-out when...
No, it's not.
Like I said, I didn't know that's how that was.
So you can buy one of these festivals in a box
right now,
$250.
Yeah, and you get convention exclusive.
Yeah, you get other shit with it.
Okay, the Secret Lair, that Ponder was the convention promo from fucking Chicago.
Yeah.
So it's not new. It's not flashy. It's not special for that. These are all convention printed fucking promos, with the exception of the Lotus Land. Planes is a new one.
If you go to TCG Player, just the box is $362 right now.
Yeah,
that's the secondary market, and this whole backlash playing into that.
Yes,
but why the fuck would you go to TCG right now and pre-order? Those are stupid, disgruntled people who are not thinking clearly, and it's like sometimes shit just sucks. Like,
and I don't
as
disagree
humans,
with that.
And you can't be like.
As a human, though, I can still express my frustrations with it.
But then you also have to take the understanding of, like...
And I'm not disagreeing with
that's not a fucking bad thing.
Which
Like,
I
it's not a
like
good
I was
thing,
explaining, I
it's
didn't
a
I didn't know
neutral-
that was already a planned thing. So
No.
for me, I saw that as a cop out when I didn't know it was a planned thing.
No, it was.
That's why I'm like, okay, I understand more now.
That's the way those festivals in a box work. They were a product that is fucking
'Cause I also took-
predated my ass.
I was gonna say
By
I also
years.
took many years off, so
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to those things and never heard of it even before.
Yeah, there's like 6 festivals in boxes, and I think 3 of them have been out since I started.
okay.
So they're
Yeah,
not
see, I
terribly old, but
There
they're not
was
terribly
just
new.
one that, yeah, there was just
See,
one
and
that
I've
happened
never-
right during Chicago.
Yeah,
And I've
it's right
never
before
heard-
Chicago.
And I haven't heard anyone mention them before. That's why to me, I saw that as like a brand new thing.
They did one for Vegas, Amsterdam, Philly.
See that now, I still would wish that they'd still go ahead
Yeah.
because I don't disagree that there should still be the exclusive con stuff because you should get a reward for
Yeah.
going and attending.
I
those
think
things.
there should be full-on fucking sets that are limited to you attending an event.
I don't-
absolutely.
I don't
there
think you
be.
should print new cards in those.
I do.
I get they're going to come to the secondary market, but they're going to come at an extreme price because even those packs are going to come at an extreme price
Well,
because
yeah.
the secondary
Yeah,
market's
but
going to be assholes.
that's part of the fucking fun and part of the hunt. It's
I
like
could see them getting,
but we already
and
have the issue.
a few
now.
cards, yeah.
We
shit,
already
man,
have the
you know how many
issue.
cards. I don't have a Black Lotus.
Yeah, you
think
also
they
it's
absolutely
banned
need
in
to
every
go
fucking format you play.
Yeah, but they still need to go reprint it so I can fucking have
They
one.
legally can't do that one. So.
Well, they need to break the law so I can have one.
That's not
No,
what.
no,
That's
no,
not
no,
what.
no.
That is not what I'm saying at all. That is
Well, I know.
100% not what.
But-
well,
but
that's what
that's-
you're
that's-
spinning that into. That's
Well,
exactly
yeah,
what you just
because
did.
you're missing out on something and you think you should have it because you.
That is an entirely different thing. The list has been a thing forever. These exclusives that they're
This will be a thing that we'll eventually look at 30 years down the road and be like,
I'll still
that's been
call
a
them-
thing forever.
and I'll still call them retards the same way I call them retards for the list. The only reason I don't bitch more about the list is because that's a legally binding thing that no one has any idea why it's legally binding, but apparently
that's
it
because
is.
it probably isn't.
What's the list?
The reserve list
stuff
is
they
a-
can't reprint.
Yeah, it's the
But
stuff
I don't
they-
think I don't think it's legal
We don't
binding.
know. We don't know anything about it. All we know is that Wizards came out with this list, stated they would never reprint these cards, and then years later, when asked about it, they said they would love to take it away, but they legally can't.
There's probably some ways around it, but
They have done
they think
ways
they're
around.
beholden. They're beholden to their verbal fucking agreement with the world.
I was gonna say
That's what they think. They're going to get a lawsuit because the people who own Black Lotuses have fucking loads of money. And they will instantly sue to take them down because they're going to
Yeah.
lose
I
loads
would
of
guess
fucking
that
money.
my
that's-
only debate with that would be is. I guess it's not really a debate. It's technically they have reprinted these cards before,
Right.
but just not
the
in
right- yeah,
not
the
in a
borders.
legal format. They even done them in the right borders, just they had a different set symbol they had a set symbol as the issue because those sets didn't have symbols.
So
I
here's
want-
the thing. You
but-
remember there was a time where they said they wouldn't reprint that, or they would not print digital cards either.
That's true too.
They said they weren't going to fucking put these cards in paper, and here we are.
I bet
with
that
legal, and they're not just in paper; they're legal for all the fucking formats.
I bet
yes.
there's a. I bet. All
And
the
this
people
Or
does-
that-
if
and
they're
this
not
does-
legal, if they're not legal for all the formats, then they're fucking useless. Except if you draft mystery booster,
So
and
there-
that's it.
I do know that there are most of them are legal in all formats or most formats, but there are
Yeah.
certain ones like the Oracle of Alpha because the card literally gives you a copy of each of the Power 9. That's a draft only card, and it's
that's
separated by an acorn symbol. And
okay, so they brought the acorns back.
yes, the acorn is. They made the statement. I don't know if it was with this or they made it in previous. That anything with the acorn statement means it's not legal, and that's going to be the new going forward thing.
Yeah.
So
which is stupid because they could have picked a different.
I
I
don't.
don't even understand the acorn. Why'd you pick an acorn?
I don't understand that one at all. But
Why don't they just make it an X?
right?
Yeah.
Well, they've done X 10th
Oh.
edition.
Oh.
10th edition is an X.
on the
The
symbol
set-
logo.
The
or-
set symbol.
Okay, so the acorn is at the bottom with the foil stamp.
Oh, is that how?
That's
That's
where
where
the
this
acorn
is. I thought it.
So
some-
the circle
See, when I heard
authenticity
someone
thing.
say it, they said set symbol.
So yeah, no, it's at the bottom. The acorn's
Okay.
at the bottom, like infinity.
Okay, that makes sense.
I was thinking it was.
But
up
they'll
by
also, I believe they'll also be silver bordered too, like Unfinity.
yeah. There's some that's going to be, because I think they teased a couple of them.
Right.
But that's the thing, is those cards are essentially.
Oh, they'll be
fucking
completely
junk.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, that's just
It's-
like Unfinity. I want to open Unfinity boxes.
But
and
how-
all those cards
my
besides a
thing is-
handful are going to be junk.
is we're getting all hyped up and worried about the availability of this, but how often do we even fucking draft?
Oh, that's my point. Isn't for drafting. My point's the new cards.
Right.
Now, this would be a set I would.
Oh,
want
I
to
want
draft.
fucking whiteboarders
This
and
is-
future sites out the ass, because I want a goddamn whiteboarder Urza pretty fucking bad.
This is a
Like-
set that, and I said it the last time we talked about it. This is an actual set I would draft because I enjoy. Those are the few drafts I like are chaos drafts where you go to a random game shop, like when you went up to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
You buy 3 random packs from 3 random sets they had there. You buy 3 random packs from your distributors or some shit. I'll go to fucking Tennessee and buy 3 random packs. We'll come back and draft it. We could
I'm down
have
for
all the
shit
same
like
sets.
that, yeah.
Or you could have fucking sets from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I could have all new ones, and you could have sets from 7 years ago.
Be the dumbass with a beta Ice Age.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, I spent $400 on my draft. And they're all vanilla cards. Fuck.
Yeah, no shit. I made no money here. Fuck me.
It's alright. This swamp will grade for a $20 bill.
Yeah.
So yeah, so well because I
don't disagree that the
How long will it
availability-
take me to get like
It says when they'll ship.
I think the idea was that he wanted this specifically, and I say he referring directly to probably Gavin because he designed the fucking thing.
Yes.
I think he wants to make conventions a bigger, more frequent thing. I think he loves the events that go on. Those fucking events are harder than shit to book.
Oh yeah.
So by having these boxes available, there will be pods of people holding their own
All the time.
at the conventions.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't get a sign up for his actual one, but I got us a box so we can all sit at this table and fucking draft.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's the majority of it, because when it comes to like a chaos draft at your casual fucking table with your friends, you guys will make that shit happen yourself.
Oh yeah.
And it's like cube draft is pretty prime in bigger circles than ours. Like, cube drafts happen more than regular.
We used to cube draft all the time.
Well,
My buddy has a commander cube.
Yeah, and that's the
that
thing.
shit takes like 5 hours, but it's fun as fuck.
But I just you gotta let everybody have their specialty stuff and
And
not
I
really
don't-
worry about it.
I don't
Just simply
disagree.
Don't worry about it.
I would just, if you're going to change the way you're going to do it, just don't. Mine ultimately comes down to don't take the name of a product and then change the way you're going to do that exact product. Just name it something different if you're going to change shit. That ultimately at the end of the day, that's where my argument comes to, is you named it Set Booster 2. It got teased through a podcast.
What was the gap between Mystery Booster Convention Edition until they made it available? Was that a year's time?
It was like
6 months.
It was
time?
like 4 months, if
4
I
months?
remember the dates correctly.
Yeah, because I didn't listen very well on that one.
But yeah, that at the end of the day comes down to my thing is you teased it on a podcast, so all these people listening are like, "Oh, I love Set Booster 1." You know, even if they're just talking about the retail version, then they hear Set Booster 2, it gets its, I'm going to put in quotes, official announcement, and it's convention only, and they're like, yeah, we don't plan on doing a retail version of this. And all those people then are like, man, I really loved the first one.
Well,
why'd they do it that way?
Here's what's incredible.
My
about
thing
it.
is they've also done it in the past with different mastery sets where they've done like Modern Horizons. Originally it was Double Masters and Double Masters 2, and then they switched it to Modern Horizons because they switched some of their parameters of what they were reprinting. Just do it that way. Just give me a different name for it, like you've done every other time in the past when you change the way you do things.
Well,
don't just keep it the same.
Here's my thing though. Is the same people who are complaining about not being able to get this motherfucker are the same people who are complaining of product fatigue too.
Oh, I don't disagree with you there.
And it's like, okay, so you don't want any more Magic sets unless it's this one, and then you want us to make sure you get this one crammed in with all the other ones instead of...
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I will not disagree. All of these people are the same whiny people that whine about everything. So I don't think there's I understand product fatigue. I don't feel it at all.
I still think Murder's Carlisle Manor was memed out of fucking existence because
It's
there was
purely the
fucking nothing wrong with that set.
And I know you're listening, man, even though you're probably not. But people like Tulare Community College, they see things like the fedoras and they make a bunch of jokes about it.
Yeah.
And that sways the whole Magic
And then
community.
every fucking channel made the same goddamn... You know, I'm so sick of people saying that, oh, they just put more hats on them. Oh, they just put more hats on them.
That's something...
Fucking knights wear hats.
That's something
everything's always
I was gonna say,
a hat.
until I started hearing... like TCC saying it and other channels saying it,
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking notice it, and I love the artwork on cards. To me, most of them made sense to have the hats that they fucking had.
I never noticed that there was a bunch of hats.
Well, and then what do? They
And
drop in a secret layer fucking special bonus card where it's fucking Ellis Norton wearing a cowboy as a hat. And I still haven't got my hands on that card.
It's went down in price.
I've been waiting. It's like down to... It was under 400 last I checked.
The,
For a card that nobody wants me to play. That's a card that'll get me yelled at a table for playing.
That'll be the one card. If you played any other artwork of it, I'll yell at you. If you play that...
I have the fucking Halo foil. I pulled the Halo foil.
Okay, I'll make the exception for the Halo foil, too. The Halo foil and that artwork. You play those two, I won't yell at you. You play any other version of it, I'm going to scream at you.
Fair enough.
I can't be upset at those artworks. They're beautiful artworks, and I'll just be too busy staring at them in their beauty.
Yeah, the Halo foil, I got out of the Whatnot stream, and I was like, it was kind of a dud for the fucking hit, too.
Really?
Yeah, versus the money I spent.
I was going to say, I don't know what the price of...
Well, I don't remember exactly how much I spent, but it was like, oh, buy this mystery box and get these pulls free and yada yada and this and that. And it's like the mystery box I got was like one of the 4s where it's super low, and I definitely took a hit. And then like the dude knew me and I'd bought from him plenty of times before. He's like, I tell you what, we'll throw in some extra ones. And that was one of the dud fucking pulls I got was it was a single collector pack from the set that had her in it with the Halo foil.
What is that? All will be one?
Fucking, I think so. And that was the only fucking card of value I got out of everything I got from the guys.
Jesus.
And like he knew it fucking hurt. Like he knew it. Yeah.
I need to use Whatnot more, especially since I got a new phone.
I have kind of stopped. Because the people I used to, I'm not going to name names on the channels, but I've noticed there's an influx in price. Everybody's inflated with the gaining popularity of Whatnot, that it is more expensive to buy from there than it is to buy in a shop now.
Has it gotten that bad?
Yeah, unless you find the niche small guys streams, and I've got a couple of them lingering around where I get my cheap singles from, and you time it with sets in the right ways, and you can get the big hits from new sets before they hike up in price, or you can also find the dollar auctions for old shit. And
right.
Some of those guys are fucking wild, and they'll just run a card for $1 regardless of what it is, and hope like hell it gets to a decent value. Okay, JoJo, come here. But yeah, that's the only way I get lucky on it. I just buy singles, and it's mostly. It was from one guy primarily for a while because he's just so fucking fair. Always had good shit for me.
Yeah, I did Whatnot a couple of times, but I really just didn't. I just kind of stayed away for the most part.
It's if you own a shop, it's not really necessary.
Right.
It's one of those things that I was like, I enjoy gambling, which ultimately is the way I looked at it. Because, I mean, you're doing mystery pulls. But it was not a form of gambling. I looked at it the same way I look at slots. Yeah. To where it's like, this is all chance. I don't have really, like...
I did good with it for a while because I didn't have a collection.
Yeah, right.
So anything I got for a while was good because it was worth money and it was something I didn't have.
Right.
Now I'm like, well, I don't really have everything, but I can go through my collection and find budget changes or slight difference. Like, I don't need this card in here that's normally
You can find a
$40.
budget version.
Yeah, I got budget versions. Or, like, here, this is tacked onto a creature instead of an enchantment. Kind of shit.
Right.
Which has actually helped me out because my deck's synergized better now that I've been building out a collection instead of trying to piece all the mean shit together.
Yeah, that ends up happening a lot to me. Like, that happened to me originally with Chatterfang, was I was like, alright, I found all these mean pieces and just kind of threw it together and it didn't synergize, and I had to mess with it for a bit before I got it really mean.
Well, it's like the Post Malone deck for a while had the most money in it, and it was literally just all mono black mean. It was everything that somebody had told me to put in a mono black mean deck was correct.
Yeah.
Or, something else comparable. Like, oh, I use this Intergrid. Yeah, it's like, okay, and I'll put it in here not realizing that, like, this could get me murdered in real life if I played this deck. But, yeah, I kind of learned my lesson with that one. I think I played it once or twice and managed to get the Exile with the Ashiok trigger that one fucking time.
That was a brutal game.
This is it, and now that deck has been in pieces. I've been slowly farming good shit out of it ever since, like, Arnikin's gotten quite a bit of pieces from that one.
Your Arnikin deck is brutal.
It's got Senseis and Bola Citadel in it now, so that way I can get through shit quicker.
I'm almost through rebuilding my Transformers deck. I'm a few robots shy.
I'll probably start on Otters tomorrow.
I still need to finish Assassins. I keep telling myself to sit down and do it. I've been getting distracted with shit.
I told him I took bunnies and made it worse. I put the beefy mana base in there. I got fucking Jack Rabbit in there.
I'm so glad Assassins is gonna halfway be board wipe tribal.
Oh, don't worry. We've accounted for that.
Well, the reason I say it is it's not gonna run. See, it's not gonna run a shit ton of board wipes. But it's probably going to run a couple more than most people do because of the fact that at the end of the day, I do want all my assassins to die. So if I get them out there big, mean, and scary, people get all their shit out there big, mean, and scary to counteract it, I can just board wipe, reset, do it again, board wipe, reset, do it again, and it's just a value engine for me because I'll get to exile them with memory counters, bring them back with Altair. They die again, they give me more shit.
I don't know how Otters is going to go.
I've been trying to do Otters on Arena for Standard, though. A 60 card deck, and I just haven't optimized it right. I want to say it's sitting at like 40-60, 40% win rate, 60% loss, because I either get all of my draw spells, none of the damage spells, or I get all the damage spells and can't draw enough cards to keep it going.
Right.
I wouldn't know how to spell sling as a fucking standard deck. Very good spell sling in a commander deck, but you guys are just gonna sit there on most of the fucking turn. Like, that's the part that sucks about it in commander.
I found a spell slinger deck I want to build, but I really think if I did it the way I wanted to, I know Dad would hate my guts.
Yeah.
Because it's from the Warhammer set. He's a blue-red.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. If a source of damage would deal 1 damage to anything, he adds 2 more damage to it, so it's technically 3.
Yeah.
There's a card called Grape Shot that deals 1 damage to target anything, creature or player. But it also has Storm, which means for every spell you've cast before that, you copy Grape Shot. So the idea is you play 20, 30 spells in a turn by making free mana and doing a bunch of stuff and playing a bunch of really cheap spells, and then you can Grape Shot the whole table, because instead of them all doing 1 damage, they all do 3. So you got to do a third of the damage that you originally had to do.
And if you do it in the right colors too, with the lizards now, you can actually do it in about a sixth of the time because ETBs start happening, and then fucking it gets real wild. So right now, Rakdos is fucking going.
Lizards are insane right now.
But if you ain't lizards, you're bunnies.
Not me. I go bunnies. Oh no, I'm saying me.
Like, have you seen any in the meta?
I've seen a couple bunny decks, but I'm really low on the totem pole because my otter deck's just not doing good, and I'm refusing to build anything else.
I haven't played Arena in so long.
See, it's one of those things. Work, don't listen to this, but like if I'm running a slow machine, I'll get on, play a game, shut it off, go back to working, get back on maybe an hour later, play a match real quick, and kind of jump on and off. I play it maybe 2 or 3 days a week, so it's not much and not for very long.
I have it on my phone, but I don't play it at all.
I used it to learn how to play an Agatha's Soul Cauldron without fucking it up constantly. That's the main reason. I didn't know how to play it, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I played a few different standard decks involving it, and then completely built a commander deck based off of how one of the standard decks functioned.
I've done that a couple times on Arena.
But
I want to build a mold.
I added a color too. That was the thing. As I added a color and subtracted a color from the original one. Because the one I was playing was Sultai, blue, black, green.
Yeah, Sultai.
So it was Sultai, but I made it Jund instead and took the blue out. I didn't want blue.
I love blue.
It was just I didn't want blue. There was some good red stuff I wanted to use in it. Scorpion God. Some of my secret layers and shit. And I was like,
Scorpion God's blue black.
no.
No, I'm thinking of the Scarab, I think.
Yeah, Scarab God's blue
Scarab.
black. Scorpion God's red black, I believe. I don't think it's 3 color. He is EV Jund. Well, then I gotta add Prosh in there, and I gotta add Corvold, and fucking bunch of the cool shit. But I'm not playing them as commanders because I don't want to be a complete dick fuck. Unless I'm playing Prosh with Prosh against fucking kids.
Prosh and Prosh.
That shit was funny.
It was funny to listen to.
I hardly used my Prosh. I was just sitting there fucking, I was basically dirtling until we were done. Alright, I'll play my deck and do my thing. Here's some pretty artworks for everyone to look at.
Yeah.
Well, we've been rambling on for a bit now.
Well, what's the time?
1:12.
Oh, okay.
Bye!
Yeah, I think we're good. I didn't realize we were already at 112.
Well,
Yeah.
between the cheesecakes and
So-
me and him talking about mystery boosters
Yeah.
and debating that back and forth.
So, yeah.
Will we ever come to an agreement?
No, the
Yeah.
answer is no, and that makes me happy.
I'm a tough shit kind of guy.
Well, I like being able to have that other perspective to bounce
Yeah.
off of and be able to have that debate, and then it also allows other people to see that
Well, and
debate.
I do agree. It sucks. It does suck.
And that's ultimately what I like. We've been over. I'm not going back
Yeah.
into it. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, so we've talked about mystery boosters, and we've talked about
This pussy.
we've talked about
Cat.
Renesmee. We've talked about all sorts of stuff.
Cheese
Show tonight,
caves.
cheese
Yeah.
caves,
Metal Knight.
Damasol,
Yeah.
I
blood
ate
letter.
6 tacos before we did this
Yeah.
podcast.
So we are gonna say goodbye. I'm Nick,
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
and we will see you next time.